kind of raw.
We are raw. Oh, and we're recording.
We're recording. Hi, everybody.
Welcome to number six of Two Girlfriends Talk. And this is my dear friend Deb, and I'm Joan. And we created this podcast to help you organize and energize your busy life.
That's right.
And today, Deb, what are we going to talk about?
Today, we're talking about who uses professional organizers.
That's
you.
Well, and this happened out of the last podcast because I never even thought about it.
Right.
I'm just sort of like just thinking of myself, as a homeowner, that you would, hire someone like you to help solve a problem, create solutions, strategies to make your life work better so you
Right.
feel better.
Right.
And I had no clue about the professionals. So why don't you give us a little scoop? Oh, and one more thing. We heard that our sessions are a little longer than what you like. And why we created them that way was to kick back like you're talking to a girlfriend with a cup of tea. You sit back, you're entertained. But a lot of the people who watch the videos want it shorter and quicker and faster.
Yeah. They just want, they want the information. Yeah.
So we're going to try it. So here we go. Go, Deb.
All right. So out of last episode 5, came the question of who uses professional organizers. And there are lots of folks out there that don't realize that organizers reach beyond the residential side of things, where we're just decluttering or organizing your cabinets and your closets. So one of my friends who is a realtor uses organizers to help with staging. She refers organizers out to potential clients who are needing to move, they're needing to downsize. Sometimes they're seniors and they need to really go from, their family home to maybe a 1-bedroom apartment. So realtors are great resources for organizers, and we consider them business partners. So we will go in and we'll stage a home that needs to be sold. We'll declutter it. If there's a lot of extraneous stuff, we pack and we unpack once the move is done, if it's local. A second business partner that we use all the time are fiduciaries. They're kind of tied into the realtor thing, where sometimes a family is maybe arguing over things that they've inherited, and a fiduciary is assigned to step in and figure out what's going to whom. So for fiduciaries, we do a lot of inventorying, we do a lot of packing, and sometimes we do a lot of estate clear outs. So we can come in and just clear that home, especially if it needs to be sold rather quickly. Another business partner, one of my favorites, is closet designers. In fact, I used to be a closet designer, but now they're business partners to us, because when they are designing a closet, they sometimes need someone to come in right after the closet's been installed and get all of the pieces put back into the closet so that it's organized and helpful to the client. And the next short list is like various companies various types of businesses that need filing systems. They need record retention policies written. They need training for calendar and time management, or how to increase their employees' productivity. So we will also organize supplies in your supply closet, and do inventory in that way. And we'll help get, the old files out if that's something that they need done. And then probably unknown to folks are artists and art collectors. Will go in and inventory art collections, and we'll also organize those collections if necessary. So that's something I've actually been involved with. One of my clients is a huge collector of art, and I went in there and helped her put her art in certain places and organize her collection a little bit so she can, rotate the pieces that are in her home. And then one of the last things that we do, not the only thing that we do, but we help a lot of nonprofits as well. Recently, I was involved in an organization that helps the homeless, and we went in there and we helped organize the clothing by type, shirts, jackets, pants, and by size. And then they also had personal care products that they needed organizing. So we'll do things like that to help them out so that they can help their clients out. So that's kind of the short list of who besides you will hire a professional organizer.
Well, and one of the things that I thought was really interesting, thank you so much for explaining that, because I've just never really thought of it. I didn't understand it. That's why I said, hey, maybe we need to talk about that. And it makes me think about it. Most of us, we either own our home and we have a realtor we bought our home from,
Right.
or we have a landlord and that management company that is real estate. So it's all like real estate oriented.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think was really cool was I remember you were telling me, Deb, that you have a good friend who's a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were having coffee one day, you happened to mention that, we were doing this podcast, and she goes, oh, I would love to see it, send me a link. And you did. And she goes, Deb, this is really great content in here. My clients could really use it. My buyers and sellers, would it be okay with you if I shared the podcast in my newsletter?
Mm-hmm.
And she did. And then you told me about it. And that's when this idea of let's sharing with people, what a professional organizer does. And that just really got me thinking that, gosh, maybe a way that we can help people is thinking about, realtors.
Right.
If you happen to see this and you think that this information would be helpful for your realtor,
Right.
feel free to, share it. And, it makes me think of this question, because I typically think of myself, how I would use an organizer, how I use my organizing skills in my home.
Right.
And then you think of friends who might be the right person, to make a referral to you, Deb. But then it made me think about it. Have you ever worked for a realtor organizing their home?
Yes. Yes. Actually, I didn't organize at home, but I worked for a realtor in the LA area who was moving from a really beautiful home into a brand new home that she was planning to completely redo. And yeah, so realtors definitely hire organizers for themselves when they're moving from one property to another. I haven't done an organization, but we packed her and then we unpacked her. And as we were unpacking her, we were organizing, I think the main areas were probably the common areas in the home. I don't think we really touched, like the bedrooms and stuff, but yeah, we've done that.
That's such a cool thing. It just gives me new ways to see how this could be helpful. And something else, I was working with a client this week, and one of the topics we work a lot on is self-care, because to me, it's about, what is the energy
Right.
that one needs in order to do these projects. And I mean, I was helping her with career possibilities, and then kind of what goes along with that. And with her, all of a sudden she goes, gosh, Joan, with what you told me, it's making me really focus on self-care and how my self-care is such a priority right now. And I said, it really is the foundation. That's what, the energy healing work that I do, helping people quiet mind, open heart, strong body, you know, how we manage our stress and anxiety, you
Right.
know, how that all works and ebbs and flows, you know, that work-life balance, how we do that.
Yeah.
And what I was just thinking of, let's pull a card, Deb.
Okay.
Um, so let's look at this from a self-care perspective.
Okay.
So, you know, we've got this group of professional organizers, and we have professional companies that you do work with, besides anyone who has a home or having worked with the homeless or doesn't have a home.
Yeah.
But there's, you know, that's application. Think of it's all real estate. It's wherever we're living
Yes.
that we're having help and support. That is just so cool. And so my thought is, let's see what the cards, why don't you pull a card and
Okay.
think, you know, when you're sharing with these organizations, you know, what might be something that would be helpful in organizing? Let's just see what the cards have to say.
Hang on. Smile.
Well, all I can say is whether, okay, I'm in the midst of doing taxes,
Yeah,
and organizing for me is everything with taxes. I mean, I've
absolutely.
got a system of what you do. I need
Yep.
to check it off, and it's all, do I do this? And then I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this. And I went, okay, if you're not smiling, it's not good. Joan, you need to enjoy the practice of taxes, because taxes doesn't have any, it has no personality. It's only what we bring to it.
Right. That's true.
So my thought was, okay, smiling. So I'm smiling when I'm doing taxes. And here's the other one. Here's my card.
With love. Absolutely.
And so, you know, you think about that with any organization project you're doing, any organizing, whether it's you yourself are doing the organizing or you're having someone in who's supporting you in that. If you're bringing love into the mix,
Mhm.
and you're smiling and you're enjoying yourself, whatever project or task, I find it's just easier. It's more fun.
It's more fun. And if the organizer comes in and they're smiling and they're, giving love as they're doing the project, it totally reduces the anxiety of the client completely. Just brings them right down to earth.
I
Yeah.
love that. And we were just talking beforehand. We've got this topic for May. Well, Mother's Day is coming up. So this one is going to get published the first Saturday in April,
Right.
which is first Saturday in April. And the first Saturday in May, we're thinking about expanding on the topic of self-care.
Mhm.
Ms. Deb, tell me about this new trend that's happening in the organizing field.
Well, I think that um, professional organizing is becoming more of a user friendly and a name friendly, how do you say it when something's in the home now? It's a thing that is becoming more and more prevalent in our society. And like your manicurist or your hairstylist, professional organizers are something that people find that they need. They don't necessarily need them all the time, but they need them. And it's becoming acceptable to have a professional organizer as part of your self-care, what do you call it, process, or sorry, I'm completely drawing a blank at the moment, but it's part of your routine. It's having someone come in
Yeah.
and help you declutter or organize or just, streamline your home in such a way that you're more relaxed and more productive in your own home.
And supported.
And supported. Exactly. Exactly.
Because it ends up saving you. I think life is moving so fast
Yeah.
that the busier the exec is, time is money, or
Yes.
time, however one wants to
Absolutely.
think about it. And they find that in a fraction of the time, they could have Deb come in for 3 hours. I mean, I don't know how long a window you typically work, 3 or 4, for the 4 hours. Thank you. Deb would come in for half a day.
Half a day.
Half a day, and that person could have their list and have their project together. And doing that with Deb, and what I find is with any project, that sometimes if I have a partner who can just help me a little bit,
Yeah.
we each, you play off each other's energy, and you
Exactly.
bring that love, and that love energizes you. And then you're smiling more.
Yeah.
Not only do you become more productive, but it's efficient. And at the end of that 4 hours that you've supported, that man or that woman, the people, whoever you're supporting, the way that family functions or the way that business functions,
Mhm.
there's so much more love and happiness in that environment.
Exactly.
And whoever hires you can count on that, because they know that that's the experience they're going to have every time. So it's treasured.
Yes.
So it's really intriguing to me as I'm learning about this too. It's, the process and the practice of how that comes in and how that's shared
Yeah.
and how that can be helpful. Because
Yeah.
these are, 10 years ago, this wasn't there.
It was there. It's just, it wasn't
Not
as well
self-care.
known. It wasn't
Yeah.
as well known. Yeah. I mean, I know organizers who have been in business for 20 years, and but now it's a household name. That was the term I
Yes.
was looking for.
Yeah. It shifted.
It's shifted. It's acceptable because, you know, things that things that people are ashamed of, it's now coming to a point where, look, if there's somebody to help you, then there's no reason for the shame. And we try to help people understand that in some cases, particularly where there's chronic disorganization, that there's no shame there. You just need a little help. But my client is not that person necessarily. It's the busy executive who wants that time back in their life. They just want to be able to go home, pull the thing that they're looking for out of the closet or out of the pantry or whatever. They need to know what they need to, buy from the grocery store. And they just need to know if they've got the ingredient, available to them. That's what I'm helping them do. I'm helping them streamline that. But it can get deeper in terms of, like you were talking about, organizing one's life, just being more productive, more happy in your house. I mean, we can come in, and there are feng shui specialists in professional organization and change the chi in the house, and everything is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole energy of the house is different. And people don't realize that we can do that, but we absolutely can.
I love that. I love it. It's just fun to see how things are shifting.
Yes.
And I think, with all technology these days, people are seeing, what can be done. And it's like when I created this little deck, the little Island Oracle cards, the second to the last card was, or actually it might have been the last card. My mom and I were talking on the phone, and she goes, "Joan dear, I was just reading about the Dalai Lama, and I have an article I want to send you." And I said, "Beautiful." And he said one of the most important things that he had learned in his life was the importance of asking for help. And
Yes.
so that's why one of the cards in the deck is ask for help. And when I
Mhm.
think of this trend of organizing, you know, energizing, organizing, hiring professional energizer organizer who can do this.
Yeah.
Why people hire me to help. Like Deb organizes people and things.
Mhm.
I help them organize their internal energy in their home, in their mind, in their body, in their heart, in their spirit.
Mhm.
So it's kind of, we're both organizing and both energizing, you know, just like the physical things and the internal things. And, but that asks for help. And that I think is really a key thing. And I think with social media, or people are, you know, that asking for help is what's key. And for busy execs, the real successful ones do ask for help and they have people who support them.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then I think that's, you know, I think that would be a great topic to just, why don't we build on that in May
Right.
about self-care and
Mhm.
how something just, some simple self-care practices that we can do uh, that will make your life, you know, easier. So you feel more organized, you feel more energized,
Yeah.
and you're having more fun. And so
Yes.
your life feels more fulfilling.
Right.
How does that sound?
It sounds great. Sounds great.
That sounds good. And so we're at the end of this particular video. So if you found this content helpful, please feel free to share it with a girlfriend. And if you want to know when we do these again, click the subscribe button. And
Like,
if you like it, why that's really helpful is I'm learning about these algorithms, is that when you click the like button, that means there's a possibility it'll be shared by YouTube.
exactly. Yeah.
Why is that helpful? If I can help another woman or another person who's interested in learning about organizing or energizing, or is having to move and is going, oh my God, I don't even know how
Yeah.
to pack. Oh, it's just like too overwhelming. Maybe something that we say in one of these videos will be just what they needed to hear to make their life easier.
Exactly. Or just reach out directly to me and I will be happy to have a conversation with you and help reduce any anxiety you might have.
Beautiful. And I'll post down below that, you know, Deb's email, so you can contact her directly, and
Absolutely.
mine as well. And we'll have any little key points we'll mention down there. And I think that's it. So these podcasts are going to come out the first Saturday of the month. And the next one comes out, what did I say it was? May 4th.
That's
So
right.
May 4th will be the next one at 9.
Mhm.
So bye for now. Thank you. And
Yeah.
if you have any comments or any questions, feel free to leave them below, and I promise we'll get back to you and answer them. And if you have a topic that you'd like us to talk about, let us know and we'll bring it into the next session.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to talk about it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
All
All right.
right.
Bye for now. Take
Bye
good
for
care.
now.
See you next month.